Grove. We're on the edge of the Flint Hills, which is important because I'll explain that sometime. They grow grass there that they used to bring cattle to. This is where they brought them to fatten them up. So this is mostly prairie back then. It's rolling hills, or I call rolling hills. Mostly grassland. So you imagine back in the western days, way back then. But this was, this had very few trees that it does now, because it's been settled. You know, they plant here, agricultural here. They grow a lot of, they raise a lot of cows here. And, but can you imagine coming here and there's nobody here but Indians? And yeah, that'd be kind of scary to me. And there's more trees here, I think, than there was back then, because, you know, people came and they planted trees down their property lines and things like that, and the birds spread the seeds and some other way they got spread. So there's actually, I think, more trees here than there probably was back then. But I do not know, because I don't know everything. And just learning, like a lot of people. Council Grove is important, and so is Morrison County. I mean, Morris County, not Morrison. Morris County is important. So we're covering Council Grove today. I like Council Grove. It's got a lot of history, and this is a history that our children need to learn, because this is our past. And so back in 1800s, there wasn't telephone poles there. There wasn't that many trees here. There was businesses and houses and farms back then, so we've came a long way in 200 years. So you'll see a lot of granaries here, but Council Grove was on what it was part of the Santa Fe Trail, and it was an area. They stopped by the Neosho River, and people would gather there, and then they would make like a wagon caravan and go together, because once you got past Council Grove, you got into Indian territory. So they tend to go in groups for help protection. They do a circle. They also shared they could share their resources. If someone had a baby, there could be somebody else there. Mostly it was for commercial. It was to get products to the west. The Santa Fe Trail started in Independence, Missouri, and ended in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's how it got its name. Well, so the people, when they got to Council Grove, once they got past it, it may be 1 to 2 days before they could get supplies again. And like I said, they were going into more, dangerous areas. So I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna fast forward it past there. So I'm gonna make a pit stop. I'm going to a place called the Barn, I think. Am I here? Is it there? Oh, I think I missed it. Hang on. I don't know which road it is. Okay, so I'm assuming it may be this road. I've been here once before. So we're on the edge of Council Grove. So we're gonna go. So a man that settled Council Grove, the founder, was named Seth M. Hayes. And towards the end of his life or time, he built this big barn. And this will be at the end of the video, because I'm going to do a story on Seth Hayes, because it kind of has to start with Seth, the Indians and Seth, and two people that got a license to build a trading post here in this area. But you see how pretty it is? Look, that's up there. There's hills here. So we're going to find this barn. Hang on. It's here somewhere. Oh, there's a road over here. Duh. So G and I came here one time, we've been here one time, I guess, and that's when we came. And there's just a sign that, like you saw, says the barn. That's all it says. But this barn has a lot of importance. And you imagine, this barn is huge. Can you see it yet? Can you see it? Hang on. You're going to be able to see it. Hang on. Hang on. We're almost there. We got a little ball field or something out here. You'll see it to the right. Look to the right. There it is. So you can imagine back in, can't remember when this built, was like in the late 1860s something. It'll show up here. And can you imagine the labor it took to build this huge barn? Okay, we made it to the barn that Seth built in 1871. It's made of natural limestone. I'm using a tablet, and it has a lenses that makes everything so far away. Really not that far away than what than what the lens is doing. It has great stability. That's why I use this iPad. So it was built in 1871, 76 feet long, 41 feet across. The boards have natural wooden pegs in it. It's natural limestone, and this is the limestone. It's real pretty here. And in 1899 to 1945, it was part of the Poor Farm. I will try to do a series on Poor Farm. Never heard of it till I moved here. This is big. Look at these big boards, y'all. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. I mean, you can't see it. That's pretty big. And then it goes all the way to the top. So you can see there's holes up there. Isn't that cool? So, it took a lot of labor to do this. And I don't know where they got all this wood, because back then there weren't all these trees, I don't think. There might have been trees here, but not as much as there is now. There's more because it's been settled. Okay, we made it into Council Grove. And we'll drive around. We'll try to hold this tablet. There we go. If I don't hit a bump, I'll be all right. It's not straight, I know that. So it looks like any other town. There's that bump right here, so. They got some cafes that they're well known for, smaller cafes. And it's a nice day. It's about 60 degrees. It's in April. But I'll try driving through town, and then there's a grocery store here. There's a couple of gas stations. There's the depot right there on the right. And the old jail. There's a Dairy Queen and a Subway and a Pizza Hut. And then there's some restaurants also. And then, of course, the famous, there's liquor. That's also a restaurant, I think. And then there's the Hayes House restaurant, which is very famous. It's the oldest restaurant, continuous oldest restaurant past the west of the Mississippi River. They got a hardware store. They got one signal light. Fixing, gonna hope we make it. And then on the right is the old oak tree, post office tree, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if we can make it through here. Okay, now on the right's gonna be the Neosho River, which you can't see from here, but it's got a wonderful hiking trail around it, walking path. It's paved. It's also disability, for disabilities. This is the town. I don't know how well you can see it with my tablet the way it is, but go slow a little bit. There's somebody behind me, can't go that slow. There's, there's antique stores, there's little eclectic stores, there's the house to the right. So imagine 18, and guess where you're at right now? You're on the Santa Fe Trail. This is the actual Santa Fe Trail. Right here. We're on it. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to go through town. I'm going to turn around and come back. I know you can't get both sides. I'll walk down the streets here in a minute, but I thought you might want to go through it. There's some, imagine this started out as a trading post in the mid-1800s. And past it, there's the old Chance store on the right. That's the last chance to get any groceries back then. It's a nice town, and there's a city reservoir, like a lake there that people live around, and then there's a Corps of Engineers. There's a lake there also, and there's a lot of campgrounds, a lot of places to camp outside of town, and the population's around 2,100. I'm not sure, give or take. So I got to speed up. I got some in my back end. Of course, a lot of all these places have historical places. Oh, I was going to turn right there. That is the cemetery where Seth Hayes is buried. So I got some in our tail end. That was 35, so I'm doing right. Okay. That's a big cemetery. Some of these towns in Kansas, the cemeteries have more people passed away than the living by a long shot. Town's not that big, but it's pretty big. I mean, it's got some cool older houses, and there's just a lot of history around here. So imagine, probably out right in here, you got past Edgetown, you got an Indian territory. So imagine none of this was here. So we're going to find a place to turn around, because we're at the end of town, so I'm going to turn right here. Here we go. Actually, hey y'all, thanks for riding along with me, and check out the video I'm going to post in a couple days about more information of Council Grove. We will see you later, Gator.